Hey guys, it's Jen again. I'm back one more time. I promised you guys a 1 month update, which I slacked on. Sorry. So I'm going to do it today. So a couple of things. I'm not going to talk about numbers. I just did that in my other video. So if you're interested in the numbers, go to my week 5 update. I'm going to talk about the journey so far for the first month, some NSVs, that sort of stuff. So, and I'll try to keep it relatively short because if you're going to go watch the other one, it's almost 15 minutes long. That seems to be my sweet number, 15. The video's 15 minutes long, Jen's happy. It doesn't make any sense. So feel free to skip through any of my blabbering if you like, or move on to the next video, or ignore me entirely, whichever sets you free. So for 1 month update, so I'll talk a little bit about the surgery process first. So as you all know, I had my surgery at St. Mike's Hospital with Dr. Rodstein. I'm pretty sure that my surgery was done by an intern. I didn't see Dr. Rodstein at all. He was in the waiting room before I went into the OR, talking to another patient. When I went into the OR, an intern was there. He prepped me for surgery. The anesthesiologist was there who put me out, blah, blah, blah. It was the intern who came up to my room the following morning. And the morning that I left, Rodstein came in for maybe 2 minutes. He quickly looked at my incisions, said, "I'm signing your release papers," and that was it. He did not speak to me really at all. I did have my follow-up with Rodstein, which was also very quick. He had an intern with him during that appointment as well. He took the steri strips off of my incisions because they hadn't fallen off on their own. Only one fell off. So he took them off, took a look at the incisions, said everything looks great, asked me how eating was going, and my response, because I think that some pre-ops might be interested, eating after surgery is, to me, fascinating. It was fascinating. Overnight, sorry, I'm just going to adjust myself here. Overnight, you go from trying not to overeat or feeling hungry. If you're in Ontario, then you're going through the bariatric program. You have to drink OptiFast beforehand. For me, it was 3 weeks of OptiFast. All I wanted before surgery was a freaking sausage. The day of surgery, I went in feeling the same way. I hadn't eaten anything that day. My surgery was, well, they put me out somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 o'clock, let's say. But nothing to eat or drink on that morning. Wasn't really hungry. I had 3 weeks of OptiFast beforehand, so no concern there. Then you wake up from surgery. And the next day, it's the next day that they start bringing you fluids and stuff like that. My nurse was nice enough to bring me ice chips that night because I was very, very dry. But I wasn't really cleared for fluids yet, so I was supposed to eat them sparingly. I ate a lot of ice chips. Anyway, not here nor there. Everything went fine, so I'm not too concerned about that. The next day, they brought me Peach Boost, which was full sugar, and I didn't understand why they brought it. That's what they brought me for the duration of my stay in the hospital. Primarily, I just focused on water. I was not concerned at all with eating. I didn't care to eat. I wasn't hungry. I didn't want to push it. I don't like to vomit, so I will go out of my way to avoid that situation entirely. And it helps me not push the boundaries of what I can get in. I take things very slowly because I don't want to get sick. So that's that. But basically overnight you're going from trying not to overeat to trying to get enough of whatever it is you're trying to get enough of. Right out of surgery, it's enough water, enough protein, and then as you get further out, it's enough food, enough calories, enough protein, enough water. You're still working on getting enough. And here's our freeze again, guys. Sorry. 4:56. This is what happens. One moment, please. Oh, look at that. We're back. So, yeah, that was the surgery experience. But overnight, and then eating is interesting afterwards, because you have this tiny little bit of food right after about a quarter of a cup that you can get in, and it's overwhelming. Like, this 2 spoonfuls of food is kind of overwhelming to think that you have to get this in, or as much of it as you can in. It's overwhelming. I also find now, if I go to a restaurant, I'm overwhelmed by what other people have to eat. I've heard people being disgusted by what other people have to eat, or what other people are eating, or the quantities that they're eating. I've heard a lot of things like that. For me, it's not that. I don't care what you can eat. Eat as much as you want. I'm overwhelmed by your plate. I take a look at it and think, oh my God, how the hell are they going to get that in? Knowing full well that, 6 weeks ago I could have fit that and then some. But right now, for an example, when I went to my 2-week follow-up with Rotstein, I was very, very early, went for breakfast at Fran's and just got 1 egg. But as I was walking in the door and I was looking through the window, and you could see what other people's plates, and their plates were like giant. I can't even show you. The plates were like this big, like that big, and full. And I was overwhelmed walking in there. I was thinking, oh my God, I hope that they'll let me order a side or something, because that's a lot of food, and you don't take breakfast home. It's gross. You don't warm up eggs again. Nasty. So yeah, I've been overwhelmed by what other people have to eat. Emotionally, what I underestimated in the first month, I'm not an overly emotional person in general. I can count on one hand how many times I've cried in the last probably 5 to 10 years. Like, I'm not all that emotional. That's not to say that I'm heartless or whatever. I'm not a big crier. I tend to get frustrated and angry more so than cry. So that's that. Since surgery, I'll tell you, I've cried more times in the last month than I have in a long time. It has nothing to do with food. I'm not mourning food. I'm not looking at anything and going, oh man, I'm crying because I can't have that. I'm not crying over boxes of Flakies or ice cream cones or anything like that. It's stupid things. It's small conflicts and stuff like that. It's I don't even really know how to describe it, besides to say that I underestimated the emotional toll that this journey was going to take, both on me and my family and the people around me. I'm not changing as a person. I'm the same person as I was before. My focuses are a little different. For right now, weight loss surgery is my life at the moment. I've got nothing else happening. I'm still off work until Monday, which I mentioned in my last video. Excuse me. I'm still off work until Monday. I don't have work to talk about. My dog's sleeping on the couch. He's not, doing a jig for me. I'm not cleared for any real physical activity outside of walking at this point. I still have that incision that's a little bit open, so I can't swim or do any water stuff yet. I learned yesterday that I can't lift any weights until 3 months, which was a little discouraging for me, because I'm getting a pretty, can't see it too much here through my shirt, but I'm getting a pretty significant bye-bye arm going on under here, and I wanted to start toning that up a little bit. Alas, I can't do it yet. So yeah, I'm living weight loss surgery at this moment. Everything that I do is about weight loss surgery. The walks I'm taking, what I'm eating, what I'm preparing. Basically, everything that I'm doing at this moment has to do with weight loss surgery. It's what I have to talk about. So if you want to have a conversation with me lately, we're talking about weight loss surgery because that's what I've got going on. Anywho, when I return to work next week and start getting back to a normal life and existence, then that should change. But for right now, that's what it is. I'm currently in a bit of a stall, keeping my chin up about it. I do understand pre-surgery, on Obesity Help or what have you, you see that people come on with this quote-unquote 3-week stall and they're panicking. What am I doing wrong? This surgery is not going to work for me. Blah, blah, blah. Panicking about this quote-unquote 3-week stall. It's something that a lot of people experience. I hate calling it a stall. I'll tell you that the scale hasn't moved in a week and a half. It actually moved up a couple of pounds. Which for whatever reason, I'll deal with it. But I have had more compliments and more people notice my weight loss in the last week than before when I was actually losing weight. So my body is obviously changing at this moment. The scale might not be moving, but my body's changing. I can feel it. I have a pair of jeans that Julie gave me, the size 20. My 22s were falling off, but I couldn't get into the 20s, so I was just throwing a belt on my 22s and, hoping for the best. I don't like my pants skin tight. I never have liked my clothing tight, which is something that I'm trying to embrace a little bit more. I don't want them so tight I can't breathe, but wearing my clothes 5 sizes too big is probably not the best thing for for me to be able to see the changes. Sorry, I just knocked the computer. So yeah, the 20s are now fitting comfortably with a little bit of space. Despite the fact that I haven't lost anything and I've actually gained 3 pounds, those pants are fitting. So something's changing with my body and people are noticing. So I'm not too worried about it. I do want to see the scale go back down. I do understand what that panic kind of feels like, where you go, oh my God, what the hell's happening here? Like, I'm not eating enough to be gaining weight and the scale's going up. That's bullshit, right? But it is what it is, guys, and I refuse to get upset about it. I refuse to step on that scale every day to see if it moves. I'm going to change what I'm putting in my mouth for the next couple of days. Maybe my diet has been too consistently the same, or I think I'm not getting enough. I know I'm not getting enough protein. I am getting my vitamins in. I am getting enough water in. So I'm gonna have some tea. I'm gonna add some green tea to my diet, which is a bit of a diuretic. Will help pass water along. If I'm retaining any water, I'm going back to the Premier protein shakes. Hopefully they don't cause me any bowel issues or bathroom issues, although I'm sure that I can deal with, a day or so of some opposite bathroom issues. So yeah, we'll just go from there. That essentially, guys, is my update. There's not a whole hell of a lot going on. A lot of changes have happened in the last month. A lot of changes with my body, with how I physically feel. Quickly, I went camping last weekend with my wife. We went Crown Land camping to a place called Torrance Barrens. It's a night sky reserve here in Ontario. Beautiful, beautiful place. Luckily, there were places to camp that were close to where we parked, within a couple minutes, or not even a couple minutes, literally like 1 or 2 minute walk from the car, which is perfect because I can't carry anything at this point, so we couldn't exactly go backpacking, which we normally would do. But we did go for a hike. We set up our camp and whatever, and then we did go for a hike on one of the trails there, and I'm happy to report that walking up the hill to the top ridge that's across the lake, to Canadian Shield, I was not winded at the top. I walked up that with no problem at all. Historically, I would have been huffing and puffing and needed a minute to catch my breath. To get up that hill, I probably would have stopped at the halfway point and caught my breath, and then needed to do the same at the top. So I attribute that to two things. One, that I don't smoke anymore. I find that just walking in general or what have you, even before surgery, was better because I don't smoke anymore. So I attribute it to that, and I attribute it to the weight loss. So 61 pounds that I didn't have to lug up that hill is, you know, nothing to shake a stick at. So anyway, that's one of my NSVs. There's been a few some bathroom NSVs that I'd rather not discuss here, but I think that for most of you, you understand. Putting on my socks and shoes with a little less effort. I wrote down a few. Just walking in general, the route that I take around my neighborhood is 2 point something miles to almost 3 miles. I used to get to about the halfway mark, and then my brain starts thinking, oh my god, when is this going to be over? I can do that with no real effort anymore. I actually need to up that a little bit at this point. So yeah, there's been all kinds of little NSVs here and there. There's more space between my belly and the steering wheel in the car. I can now drive my dad's car, which I could drive before, but it was uncomfortable. I was too close to the steering wheel, and I don't like that. But I can drive his car just fine now, which is great because I'm buying it off of him. The list goes on and on, guys. I see a difference in my face. I don't see so much of a difference in my body yet. Other people are noticing, so it must be changing a little bit. And I'm at 17 minutes, so I need to shut the hell up and move on and let you guys go. So much for short, eh? I can't seem to keep these under 15 minutes, and this one's getting even longer. That is my 1 month update. Love you guys. Thank you all. Quick thank you to my wife, of course, who's put up with all my craziness over the past little while. Yeah. And I will see you all and talk to you all later. Bye.